By far one of the hardest things to do when you're trying to get muscle and build a good attractive physique as a skinny guy is eating correctly and eating enough calories in your day so that you can bulk up and gain muscle and actually build a good physique. And that's why I want to show you the 3 foods that I ate throughout my skinny guy bulking journey that actually helped me to consistently get enough calories in to put on weight without getting super depressed just trying to eat a bunch of food that I didn't really want to eat. You're told online to start eating a lot of chicken and a lot of rice and a lot of lean meats, and you end up with this massive plate of food. I've done it myself hundreds of times. I've done it myself before I learnt these lessons and understood that these 3 foods alone could help me get into the surplus I needed to gain weight without fucking nearly spewing and vomiting with every single meal. I remember times where I was trying to bulk up and I would literally go into KFC and I would buy, like, in Australia we have this thing called like the cheap piece feed. It's like a fucking massive meal of chicken where there's like 10 pieces of chicken, like 4 large sides. And I remember like one time I went into the shopping center and I was like, oh, I need some calories. So I went in there with my friend and I ate that and I literally spewed and vomited in the toilets like 10 minutes after, because I was just so obsessed with trying to cram the calories in that I would do anything necessary and try whatever it took. And when I was at home, in other cases, I'd just be cramming down dry chicken breast, and like it got to the point where I was eating cardboard. So I want you to understand that you don't have to do this. You don't have to be stupid and eat a copious, ridiculous amount of food to actually gain muscle if you're a skinny guy right now. All you have to do is add incremental increases in calories throughout your day by simple, easy to add foods that will actually get you the same results. And when you're trying to eat and when you're trying to go and eat KFC and all this bullshit to try and bulk up, the problem becomes you gain excess body fat and you also just feel like shit, and it influences your training negatively, and overall your progress is just sapped as a byproduct. So when we're looking for foods that are, going to be easy for us to add into our diet to achieve a calorie surplus so we can gain weight, mind you, while not having the best appetite, we need to consider though we need to consider a few factors, right? The first one is that it has to be good, healthy food because, like I just said, we need to be fueling our training effectively, and we don't want to be feeling like shit all the time and just getting excess body fat and destroying our hormones and destroying our gut health as well. Second thing is it has to be relatively convenient and easy, right? Because nobody wants to like sit down to a fucking 4,000 calorie meal of just dry fucking bland chicken breast. Like that's what I was doing. I'm telling you, it does not work. You will get burnt out super, super quick. And the third thing is it has to be relatively affordable, because chances are you're probably a younger guy right now, and increasing your amount of calories is already expensive enough because you have to increase the amount of food you're consuming, and you don't want to spend freaking $50 million on like all these fucking high tier supplements and all this other stuff to try and gain some extra muscle and gain the extra pounds. So with that being said, the number one first food that I would recommend you eating as a skinny guy if you're trying to bulk up, which helped me gain 20 kilos by adding it into every single meal, was cheese. Not many people are going to tell you this. They're going to tell you to increase the actual quantity of like the protein of like the meat you're eating in a meal, but I would recommend add cheese to meals instead. Because think about it, what is more easy and tasty to eat? More protein, like more chicken, for example, on your plate, or grated cheese on top of the chicken so it actually adds flavor, okay? What it does is it kind of serves as like a condiment. It doesn't even feel like you're eating extra food because it kind of melts onto the fucking chicken itself or onto the food, whatever you're eating, right? Potatoes, rice, whatever. Just add cheese to everything. That's what I was doing. I used to just get this big block of cheese, buy it for like $5, and I used just to grate it. Every time I eat, I used just to grate a bit of cheese like onto whatever meal. Doesn't matter too much about tracking the calories, but there is a lot of calories in cheese, and it's an extra protein boost and fat boost as well. So you're getting your nutrients, you're getting your healthy fats, and you're also adding calories without even really realizing it, because again, it's just melting onto the food. And the good thing about this is you can eat it in many different forms as well. Half the time I would literally go to school with like half a block of cheese and I'll literally just be snacking on it. So you can either grate it on your food, you can melt it into eggs on the pan, which just doesn't even add any extra volume, but you're getting extra calories and it increases the taste as well. Or you could just straight up fucking be a psychopath like I was doing and just eat it by the block just to get like a free fucking 500 to 1,000 calories in, right? So if you just add like a bit of cheese to every single meal. Let's say you're eating 4 times a day. If you just add like 25 grams of cheese, right? That will total 100 grams. Like 25 grams is like a tiny bit, by the way. It's like literally a cube, like that big. If you just grate that across your whole meal, doesn't feel like you're eating anything extra. And even if you just put it on the side of your plate, it doesn't feel like extra either. If you do that 4 times a day, that's 100 grams, right? And cheese, in 100 grams of cheese, there's literally like 300 or 400 calories last time I checked. So that's an easy extra way to get calories in that doesn't even have you noticing you're eating more. And second thing, which you can also implement, is using milk with every single meal. I was doing this and this helped me so much because again, it's something that you don't seem to notice and it doesn't feel like you're consuming more or filling yourself up more, because we know that's one of the hardest things as skinny guys trying to get muscle and trying to get bigger. We have a shit appetite. We have to like try and cram in food. So we need to create a solution that avoids this, and that is through liquid in most cases. And if you just add milk to every single meal, one glass of milk, which is 250 milliliters, contains like 150 calories, and you're also getting calcium, so you can develop your bone structure and increase bone growth, which, as we know, when we're skinny guys, you need because you're trying to fill out your overall frame and get broader, get bigger, get larger. So that's just going to add as an extra benefit. Same as with the calcium consumption from the cheese. Then also, it's not even eating anything, right? It's just in place of something like water. Okay, instead of having water with your meal, or instead of having like a low calorie soda or something, just consume a glass of milk, right? It's so easy. And if you do that 3 times a day, or if you just randomly replace your water with milk, like 20% more milk in a day compared to water, like if you have say if you have like 5 liters of, if you have 5 liters of water and you have 1 liter of milk, like a 20% change. So make it 1 liter of milk, 4 liters of water. You're literally getting like an extra 600 calories in, something like that. So again, if you're consuming 4 meals a day, and if you have a glass of milk with every single meal, 250 mils per meal, then that is 1,000 milliliters. That's 1 liter of milk, which contains 600 calories. And if you don't want to go so steep on the calorie consumption, you can make it skim milk, so you're getting a lesser effect, but you're still getting calories which are basically invisible, that you don't even have to try and consume and try and burn yourself out trying to get down. The third thing, which I think was one of the biggest hacks that I used, was to consume nuts. I used to go to school like every single day, and in the bottom of my bag I used to have a fucking foil bag of like peanuts every single day. Or when I was just sitting at home doing homework, when I was walking. These are the most convenient thing that you can use to bulk up effectively, again, without creating this impression, this like struggle in your head and in your body and in your gut that you're trying to consume so many fucking different meals and pound so much food down. Because nuts are like this big, and in a handful of nuts there's literally like 200 calories or something ridiculous because of the high fat content. And again, they're healthy, right? We need the selenium from nuts, we need all the micronutrients, the vitamins. They're just going to help you even more to boost your hormones and boost your attractiveness, boost your skin health, boost your performance. Everything like that is going to be optimized, and they're fucking easy as to eat. And the strategy I recommend, if you're going on a budget, if you have to be cheap with it, if you're fucking broke right now, like you're in uni or some shit, or you're at school, then what you should do is consume peanuts, because in Australia at least they're the cheapest. Just get a snack of peanuts like every single couple hours. Just have like a handful of peanuts. That's adding fucking calories easily, and it doesn't even feel like you're eating that much extra. It's just like a random fucking snack. It's like chewing gum basically, bro. If you want taste, then I would recommend cashews. They're a little bit higher in carb and a little bit lower in protein, but you should be eating a whole food diet anyway, so you should be hitting enough protein relatively to what you need anyway. So the nuts are not so much a protein boost, even though they act as one, but they're more so just a calorie boost, something to keep training you to eat. And that's another point. When you're skinny, you have a shit appetite. So if you're constantly eating nuts, then you're constantly training your body to eat and to be digesting and to be working and actually kind of kills this poor appetite that you have, because you train your body to eat so much and to eat so regularly that it becomes easier to eat more often and eat bigger meals as a byproduct. That's what I experienced. So they are the 3 foods: milk, nuts, and cheese. Now, before you go ahead and just start fucking cramming these down every single day, hundreds of fucking extra calories, thousands of extra calories. You have to be mindful. As skinny guys, as dudes in general trying to build muscle, there is a limit, there is a cap, there is a ceiling to how much muscle we can gain in a certain period of time. When you're newer to the gym, it is more. You can gain more muscle in a shorter period of time. But as you get more and more advanced, this kind of process slows down. So the mistake that I made myself and I want you to avoid is don't go completely overboard with the surplus from these three foods because they can add up quickly. If you're somebody who's fucking malnourished, you're a fucking skeleton, then go for it, bro. Crush this shit down, pump them down, and that's like an extra 1,000 to 1,500 calories per day you can get in with ease. But if you're still eating a consistent diet, if you're eating just in a minimal surplus and you're noticing you're gaining weight still, don't go overboard with these strategies because you will gain fat and that is not what we want. Understand that if you're consuming a diet full of whole foods, these act as an extra, as an additional, calorie boost, and even honestly like an extra protein boost. You can hit like an extra 30 to 50 grams of protein pretty easily from using these. But the main thing you should be concerned about is getting calories in from your regular foods and using this as a boost if you're somebody who struggles with appetite and struggles to consume enough calories meal to meal. So I hope this helped because it was honestly how I was able to gain like 20 kilos pretty quick just from including these extra additional foods in my diet and killing this, poor appetite, literally training my body to be able to eat more and cram more food in. If you're a skinny guy right now and you want to change your life forever, you want to bulk up, build your first 10 kilograms of muscle, build an attractive aesthetic physique that will get you so many benefits in life, not just in the gym, but in life overall, just like I've done myself. I will literally walk you through, handheld, the exact roadmap, the exact blueprint, and answer any questions you have. Check the link in the description if you're interested in that. But with that being said, remember that progress is purpose. It's time to get fucking aesthetic.